What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. We're going to be doing the disassembly and maintenance of the Finch Hellfire. Let's get into it. All right, guys, this one's going to be a little bit harder to pick up on camera because of the black mat with the black knife. So I'll do the best that I can to make sure that you get good angles and everything on this one. I do recommend Weehaw bits. If you don't have a good set of bits, make sure they're at least fresh. You don't want to damage your new knife. This one just came in today. A little bit of lock stick. And I do see that there is oil on the interface, so I do believe that is what's causing the issue. So I wanted to go ahead and take this down and get it recorded so that you guys can see that. It looks like it's all T6 except for the pivot, which looks like that is a T8. So let's go ahead and start with the disassembly. It looks to be captive in the pivot here, and the hardware screws that are on the body do not. So let's see how this comes apart. The OE for this one is QSP still, and QSP usually does a very good job. You're looking at steel hardware, and it was very secure. I am not going to take the pocket clip off for this. I just want to do the takedown and clean it up, dry it up, and then just a little minimal amount of lube. No issues with the pivot coming out at all. We'll stick the magnet, pick that right up. We'll stick the pivot to the left there. Let's go ahead and get it all taken apart. Very tiny bearings on this one. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And just so you can see here, all of the oil there on that lock bar, I believe that is what's causing the issue. So I'm actually going to start with this particular part here, and I'll show you how I prefer to lube the knife so that I try to avoid that happening. So it looks nice and clean. I'm just going to push it out ever so slightly to make sure that there's nothing on the lock bar interface, guys. We'll go ahead and take the knife the rest of the way apart, and you can see there is a lot of oil on the path here. I'll show you how, again, I lube that. Make note that your open face is out and the closed face of your stamped bearings are in. And actually, I might have a set of skiffs for these, so let's check real quick. If I do, it'll be a good opportunity to use them because I've had them for a very long time, and I don't know that I'll ever have an opportunity to use these again. So I'm just going to check and see if I can figure out the size on camera. I might not have these, but at least this way you can see what size they are. Let me move that out of the way. So it is a 4mm pivot, and these feel really small. I don't think I have this, guys. And 1mm bearings. So 4mm pivot, 1mm bearings. All right, now that those are put away, I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning the rest of the knife. We're going to clean off the pivot section, which is very dirty. So this will really improve the action, which was already pretty good. That's weird. It's captive, but there's really nothing holding. It's very strange. There's no captiveness to it at all that I can see. So let me go ahead and finish cleaning that. Since we're still wiping, let me go ahead and wipe the blade down, which was also very dirty. And that just could be, wow, could be that it was black wash. And we'll get that lock bar interface. Let's go ahead and hit up the 4mm pivot, which is actually pretty clean. So that's nice and clean there. And clean up the stop pin, which is pressed in. That's nice. All right. Oh, it is captive. It is captive. I do apologize. There you can see the D shape. So it looks like the way that they have this assembled is actually coming in from the front here. Oh no, it's coming in from the back. Yeah, it is coming in from the back. So you're going to have to keep note of the fact that your D shape needs to be facing rearward when you put this back in. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I lube all of this, but you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to clean off the bearings themselves. Let's see what these look like. If everything else was dirty, I'm assuming there's a little bit of smut on the bearings themselves. Not awful though, not awful. Let me see if I can try to clean them. There we go. They started to roll now. Let's see. Yep, nice and clean. This should make a difference. I should be able to feel this difference. It should get rid of the lock stick, but it's more like grit. And I think that's because the oil potentially was holding on to like pocket lint or dust and debris, and this here should really clean this up nicely. All right, now let's get back to reassembling the knife, and I'll just show you guys what I do. I just take a little bit here, and then what I do is I kind of work a film over the pivot just to keep it from seeping out and getting anywhere. And then you should be able to see now that it has like a shiny coat to it. You should be good to go to reinstall this into the forward. And I think, yeah, into the front scale, sorry, facing forward is what I was trying to say. So this should be facing forward. The D shape is over here, just in case you can't see that down there. So these ride on the steel liners, these bearings. So we'll go ahead and start with the bearings. And remember, the open side was facing outward, and the closed side was facing inward. And I don't think it's really going to make too much of a difference. I might actually see if they make these. I might get a set of skiffs for these. I really like this one a lot. You can go ahead, reinstall the blade. And then this has got a ton of lube coming out of the top. So I just want a tiny drop, just like that. And that should be all that you need. You shouldn't have to worry about that getting on the lock bar interface. If you're worried about it, you can just do a little dab, and that'll be just enough to get it on. Ooh, that is a lot of oil coming out of there. To get it onto the detent ball without it getting on the lock bar interface. So this one here will be the last bearing that we put together, or put on the knife, and then we'll be able to finish putting it together. Yep. So everything is reinstalled. Go ahead. I would reverse the installation process, starting with the pivot. And then take that snug. And then once you have that snug, go ahead and get your 2 body screws, and you can put those all the way tight and then start your adjustments for, oh, I guess this is not magnetic. I guess that is the downside to using this independent driver instead of using just the bit in the driver, which are magnetic. So nice and snug. Put your last hardware in here, and then we'll check the centering and action and see if this helped to get rid of the lock stick. So no lock rock, probably a little too tight in the pivot. Yeah, it's too tight. So let me loosen it just a skosh. All right, I felt it move. Nice. Man, the detent on this is nice. Okay, so now it's got a little bit of side to side. All right, so that moved a little. No play. Drop shut. No lock stick. It's completely gone. So it was definitely the oil and debris that was on the lock bar interface. That completely fixed it. I really like this one. Looking forward to carrying it and bringing you guys a full review of this particular one. I haven't had a Finch since I want to say the Chernobyl ant. I think it's the last Finch that interested me personally to pick up. So it has been a little while, and the review for you will actually happen, and no, I didn't mean to make that rhyme, will happen in the reverse order. So this disassembly because, excuse me, I wanted to address that lock stick before I carried it and formed an opinion of it, so that I could let you know about the action, in addition to how QSP's 14C28N performs and everything like that. It'll be in the reverse order. So I'm really excited about this one. First one I've seen, I want to say the Chernobyl Ant's the last one that I picked up. I want to say that's right. If I'm wrong, I'll get the order right in the actual review. Hope this helped you, and if you were having that issue, just let it be known that completely fixes the lock stick issue. It's just the oil on the lock bar interface. Shout out to all my members out there. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate it. Shout out to everyone who watched to this point. It helps the algorithm for using those links. Leave a like and a comment. I appreciate the support. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.